The city of Bastion is suffocating with industry, bureaucracy, and overpopulation. It's easy to feel oppressed, lonely, or irrelevant. Buildings and monuments are constructed and no one knows who built them or even to what purpose. Miraculous advancements in technology emerge but rarely improve the lives of others. Throngs of people gather around radios to listen to programs that promote government-sponsored messages that labor is love, and love leads to progress, and progress is the legacy of humanity. But if you look even deeper down on the cobblestone streets and pitch black alleys, you can still find the glorious blooms of the human spirit. Beautiful flowers rooted in the soul of creativity and the desire for something more than skyscrapers and factory lines, more than motor engines and dynamic electric dynamos. No, these spirits are empowered by the magic of adventure, ingenuity, ceaseless wonder. As long as these exotic flora exist, humanity always has a chance. Now, the city of Bastion is made of many boroughs, and our story begins in the one called HACKWAY Heights. It is a borough seemingly cut off from the rest, comprised of artists and aristocrats, young professionals and elder legislators, and so many people trying to make a living the best way they know how. All the while, there is the Church of the New Modernity, preaching the gospel of progress, encouraging every person, young and old, rich and poor, to believe in the current. On the east side of HACKWAY Heights is a location called the Freehold. It is a collection of several city blocks that are made up of dozens of abandoned skyscrapers. These are monuments to industry's grand designs and its fair weather temperament. Normally, no one moves through here on foot, not without clearance anyways. But as our story begins, we can hear the crunch of snow as a group makes their way through a series of alleys, not wanting to be seen. We see a man with shaggy blonde hair, blue eyes, and the falling snow tickles his crooked nose, which looks to have been broken several times over in this fellow's lifespan. David, could you describe a little bit of your character, Nezbit, or Nezzy to some?
He's in his early 40s. He's kind of got this weathered appearance, though, that, you know, people might even guess he's a bit older than that. But he may have a crooked nose, but he's got a pretty warm, jovial smile. You could see that he has this enormous tattoo over his body. He's rarely wears a shirt and is not wearing one currently. But he's got this enormous octopus tattoo with tentacles that go all up and down his arms and legs, and tentacles that look like they're strangling his throat. But he's having a good day because he's finally free.
This is one of your first days of being free, but it is also a day in which you are working. This is also your first job. And we'll get to that job after we introduce the person walking next to you, a woman named Sallie. Gail, would you like to describe Sallie? I'm so excited for this.
So she is dressed all in black, and she has big bushy brown hair, but it's very short, but it's very bushy, and yeah.
Very good. Sallie, it's cold. It's the winter here in Bastion. How comfortable is Sallie in the cold weather?
Oh, Pumpkin, I'm comfortable wherever I am. I like it when it's warm. But I like the cold. I'm not really happy to be out in it, but I can do it.
You like that it's out there.
Yes.
It's okay when the cold is there, just out there.
Yes. But it's easy to explain why I have like so many dark clothes on and a hood and stuff, and it's nice. So I'm good.
Smaller footprints are being made by both of these figures by a felt made lizard named Tremolo. Nathan, could you describe what it is that's walking right next to these people?
Yes. Hello, I'm Tremolo. I am a very small fabric lizard. I have a hearty frame, though, but a soft blue fabric on the outside. I have I like to wear a heavy navy blue cloak and an old weathered kind of mustard color yellow scarf around. I like to stay covered from things. I have a hood with that cloak, and I also have a very dashing scar across my left eye. It's around the color of my scarf for no good reason, really. It's a scar from a grand battle I had years ago. But yes, it's a yellow scar over my left eye in my fabric. And I have some dashing black pirate boots from my days at sea. And I love to play music. My violin, music is my life.
The three of you are leading the person. It's much like Tremolo, who is a mock lizard. In this world, there are creatures known as mockeries, fabric felt creatures that have a life and personality of their own. And you all are walking in front of another. The three of you are guarding this other mockery. It is a fox, a mock fox. He has been your liaison to your benefactor, Mr. Dick, the person who got you all out of prison. As Nezzy alluded to earlier, you're all free. You were all in prison together and were released thanks to a mock shark named Mr. Dick. He paid for your release, but that means that the three of you are $10,000 in debt to this, and you would all know this, rather nefarious figure. You haven't really spoken to Mr. Dick much. Most of all of your communication has been through this mock fox named Murken. He has a very gray pelt with hints of orange. It looks kind of like if a fire was being swallowed up by its own smoke. That's what his pelt looks like. He has narrow black eyes, unblinking because he's a mockery. And attached to Murken is an iron hand that is carrying clenched a black bag, kind of like a doctor's medical bag. And so this iron hand is wrapped very tightly around this bag. And you all are guiding him through these empty streets to a location that he is directing you to. You're not sure what it is you're doing besides providing a physical presence for this somewhat slight but very intimidating mock fox. As you guys are walking down the street, he kind of whispers to you. You can hear him over his shoulder since there's not much going on, and you can make it out over the wind. There, up ahead. Steel yourselves. Put some backbone into it. Stand up straight. And he kind of prods with his one regular fox hand Tremolo's back, possibly perking you up a little bit more. And up ahead, you can see an abandoned factory. And in front of the doors is much like Nezbit, a weathered, grave-looking man. And you can see in his belt a flintlock pistol. And you can make out that it has 2 barrels. And as you all approach, he slowly opens the door and allows you all to enter. Who is the first person to go inside? Sallie?
Of course.
You walk in, and you can see across the way another large guy. This guy is much larger than the fellow outside. Who the guy outside? I mean, he's very grizzled. His skin looks cold and blue, like maybe he's been outside too long, but he doesn't look uncomfortable. And the guy inside is a very big dude, with these beautiful baby blue eyes. And he looks very young and is intimidating in size. It looks like he hasn't quite been hardened yet by whatever this life is that he has taken up or has been prescripted into. And beside him is a very gangly, long-legged, long-armed figure who has his own briefcase. And he looks very official. He has narrow features of the face and a pair of wire-rimmed glasses hanging off the tip of his nose. Who comes in after Sallie? Nezzy, you walk in beside him. What are you looking for when you walk into this place?
Honestly, Nezzy's a bit hungry. Looking to see if there's a little snack table or anything. Some hors d'oeuvres for everyone.
Like an hors d'oeuvre table. To the rest of you all, you see Nezzy kind of like walk off a little bit by himself, and he's kind of peering around some of these like abandoned vats. You can see like a rolling door for like what maybe a truck would have backed in here to pick up shipments or something. It's rusted over. And possibly to Tremolo and Sallie, it looks like Nezzy's like casing the place, but he's really apparently just looking for food, of which there is none except for the package of crackers. This large fellow is like delicately trying to maneuver out without breaking, and then crunching between his teeth.
Is he cute?
The big guy?
Oh, yeah. You said he had beautiful blue eyes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's adorable, a little pudgy. He's probably about 6'6". I mean, he's a big dude.
Oh, a big guy.
And big coat that looks like it's two different coats stitched together.
Yeah.
Because they weren't like long enough, and they weren't wide enough for him.
Mm-hmm.
Real bruiser of a guy, but you look in his face, and he's still he has baby fat in his cheeks almost, and he's just like precious blue eyes, just like looking up and seeing you all with Sallie, who's carrying a pitchfork, right? Yeah. And Nezzy, who's carrying a large hook, and Tremolo, you have weapons, but how visible are these weapons on your person?
Everything is hidden within my cloak, including my hands right now. I'm just a little blue lizard head and with pirate boots coming out the bottom right now.
Yeah. So he sees you all who have your weapons, and there is a kind of a moment of like, that's my opposition. Right?
Not for Sallie.
Not for Sallie. That's what he's thinking. So he's kind of like trying to look hard. He like puts his cracker back into his coat pocket, kind of stands up straight, but like this kind of fronting doesn't quite suit him yet. He hasn't quite learned how to use his size. But you do know that like if he wanted to, he could probably hurt.
I kind of lean up against him, put my arm on his shoulder. Hey there, baby Kate.
Hey, she's touching me. Am I supposed to do something? Grimly, do I, like, is this okay? And Grimly says, are you just going to stand there and take that, her leaning on you like you're some kind of frame for a door?
I pat his chest. Oh, we're all friends here. I was just going to ask his name, Sweetums.
Oh, okay. She's just being nice. My name's Babbitt, ma'am. Grimly is just like putting his head in his hands, just like, why? Will you get her off you right now? And Babbitt just kind of like elbow shifts a little bit to like just knock
as he does. I try to
bit.
make it look like it was all to get to his arm, his hands, and I shake him. Nice to meet you, Babbitt. I'm Sallie. And then I go across and lean against the wall.
Tremolo skitters up and puts his little hand out. Hello, Babbitt. Tremolo. Nice to meet you, sir.
It's becoming like this. Oh, hey. And he puts his hand out. I mean, you look like a nice guy.
I am. Thank you for noticing.
I've met a mockery before.
Yes. Is the good Sir Fox your friend as well, who showed us here?
And the fox says, we're all friends here.
Yes.
Since we're all friends, Babbitt, could I trouble you for 3 crackers, please?
Grimly like bursts out this grizzled vet from behind, says, I swear to God you give them guys a cracker. Do not give that guy a cracker. There's no crackers. Let's just get this over with, okay, boss? And the long, lanky guy goes, yes, of course. Murken, could you and I please venture into our private office and finish our transaction? Murken looks to the 3 of you all, and he's kind of approving of Sallie's strategy. Like, he kind of looks at Sallie with like a little bit of, I like this, a little nod of approval. And he walks by Babbitt into this office, and Murken takes one last look at you all and nods. His eyes don't shift because they stay in the same spot, but he kind of shifts his whole head from side to side. Be ready. And the door closes behind Murken, and the tall, thin man.
Were we supposed to know what that nod was about? It looked like a knowing nod.
Shh, I think we were.
Oh,
I think
it looks like one of those things like, we know what that nod's supposed to mean, but he never told us what that was going to mean.
Yes, I really don't know what we're doing here. Do you know? Sallie, you always seem like you know.
I think he wants me to sneak into that room and see what's going on.
Whoa.
It's a bit forward.
Did he tell you that, or is this just natural woman instinct?
A woman's intuition.
Oh.
Is Babbitt still out here?
Yeah, Babbitt's like looking at you like
Babbitt's right
the
there.
only people who went in. The only people who went in was the fox and the thin man. And Babbitt is like, ma'am, look, you've already kind of embarrassed me a little bit in front of Mr. Grimley over there. I'm not going to let you into this room.
Oh, Babbitty, I'm sorry.
We're all here for the same reason, aren't we? Just,
Looking out for our betters.
We're all here for the same reason. I don't know what that reason is.
Babbitt, what brings you here? Why are you here? I'm sure we're here for the same reason, so let's all suss this out together.
I work for Mr. Oglesby.
Mr. Oglesby.
And Grimley says, will you please shut the hell up? And all of you recognize that Oglesby is the name of an alderman in HACKWAY Heights. This is a person who deals with legislation and supervision of this borough.
My friend, why do we have to make this such a grim endeavor? Why can't we all just get to know each other? Share a cracker or two, perchance, huh?
I think Nezzy's hungry.
Cracker would be a smashing way to pass the time, don't you think? I mean, I know, Mr. Grimley, you were totally against it a moment ago, but I mean, what else have we to do but waste time? Let's all share a cracker.
I asked Murken if there were snacks when we left, but he didn't back any.
Babbitt is like reaching into his pocket and looking up, and Grimley has kind of like, he's done that like, this is a headache and I don't want to deal with it. And he's looking out the window nearby the door where you entered. His hand on that flintlock pistol around his waist. And Babbitt like quietly starts sliding thin crackers and handing them out to the three of you.
Tremolo puts out one hand and grabs a cracker, and then he puts out his other hand.
Babbitt is unaware that your two hands are the same person. And just
So hands me another.
gives them hands out 4 crackers to 3 people on accident.
I walk over to Mr. Grimley.
Aw.
Mr. Grimley, would you like a cracker?
So as a mock lizard, how do you imagine his eyes to be?
Way up there? I don't know.
Like Tremolo's eyes. Like
my eyes?
Like,
I was like,
yeah,
eyes.
Tremolo. No, his eyes are taller than yours. Yeah. His eyes are way up there, but your eyes, like, what material do you think they're made out of?
Oh, I think he's got little black, like kind of beady eyes. Little.
Okay.
I don't know what those would be, but they're not buttons or whatever. They're like
marbles, kind of.
Almost, they would look like a half a marble or something. Like stuck on there, like that.
All right.
Yeah, there's like a little indention where the eye holes should be in these little black dots.
Yeah. He literally smacks this cracker out of your hand. And you hear all of you in this, like, over the wind of the snow outside, you just hear this as this cracker breaks and shatters on the ground next to you.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Mr. Grimley.
You didn't offend him, Tremmy, babe. That's just how some of these types are. But Babbitt isn't like that.
Yeah, are you having a bad day, mate? What's up your ass, huh?
And he turns and he says, "What's up my ass?"
Yeah.
You want to know what's up my ass?
We all got baggage. Let's deal with it together.
But not literally, right? Let's not get into personals. And Tremolo throws his cracker in his mouth and eats it like a Muppet. And it just flies everywhere.
It just explodes and it just like crumbles everywhere on the ground.
Cookie Monster style.
Delicious.
Cracker Monster.
So as he says, "You want to know what's in my ass? What's all the way up it?"
Let's have it. Let's have it.
Where the nooks and crannies.
You want to know those deep details that only my doctor knows? That's when the explosion happens. From behind the door of the office, you hear the sound of an explosion. And the wall separating the two of you from this room where Murken and the Thin Man went in shakes, and dust and bits of debris from the ceiling around you kind of falls in this dilapidated building, this dilapidated factory. Immediately, Grimly grabs the flintlock pistol. So, Sallie, what do you do? You're standing.
Did you say the wall was gone?
No. It shook.
Okay,
you can see it vibrate.
I'm just making sure. Okay, I'm standing next to
the door is still closed, and you're standing next to Babbitt, who is standing in front of the door. Tremolo is across the room, standing next to Grimly, and Nezzy, you're like somewhere in between, right? Is that how you imagine it, or are you over there with Babbitt? This decision is the most important imaginary decision you're going to make all game.
the whole game. Oh my gosh.
Did you imagine you were standing there still with him eating the cracker?
You're talking to Tremolo, right?
No, David.
I'm
David.
sorry. No. I'd walked over to Grimsley when I.
When you were doing like what's up your ass?
What's up your ass?
All right. So you're like probably 3/4 between, right? When this happens, Sallie, that's spatially what's happening right now. What do you want to do?
I'm over by Babbitt. I want to quickly, basically, because I'm very thin. I didn't explain that, but she is very, very thin. She wears a lot of bulky clothes, so you wouldn't know it, especially now that it's snowing outside. But I'm going to slide in, open the door, and roll in, like somersault through the ground.
Make a little dex check for me. So you roll 3d6. You just have to get under your dexterity to beat Babbitt.
11.
And your dexterity is what?
15.
15, yeah. So you slide behind him. He's a little flat-footed here. He doesn't realize what's going on. You slip behind him, deftly run your fingers around the door handle, pop it, push it in, and inside you see the room is a mess from this explosion, and you're able to witness another figure getting shot by Murken, who is on the ground, his iron hand still clutching this case. The Thin Man is exploded. He's splattered on the ground. Murken's on the ground with the briefcase still, and there's a third party who is getting shot by Murken.
So Murken had his own bag.
Yeah,
the Thin
they
Man
both had bags.
The Thin Man had a briefcase.
Right.
What happened to the briefcase of the Thin Man? Where is that at?
Or do I see?
You don't
Well, I
see
mean,
it.
if Sallie
Okay.
might not see it.
It's a little chaotic right now, so she hasn't been able to, like... She's picked up those 3 major details.
And there's a third person. Okay.
Yeah, a third person that you didn't see today.
Mm-hmm.
So that's you. You're moving it. Are you moving into that room?
I'm ducking for cover. And now that I see that Murken is okay, I'm ducking for cover from Babbitt barging in any second.
Okay.
So
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Nathan, what do you want to do? What does Tremolo do right now? He's standing next to a guy with a gun.
That bomb just goes off, and this is our reaction. Tremolo checks his own bombs to make sure it wasn't one of them. It's like, his arms go into his coat, and he's looking around, and it's like, oh, thank God.
So he's doing that.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, is that one of mine? And
oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh.
is he like doing like it's like that, like the Catholic cross thing, like the one's here, one's over on the right shoulder, and then one's down here a little bit. Oh, yep, all there. All right. Did you want to do anything else besides that?
I don't think it would be in Tremolo's character to do anything else.
To do anything else. All right. Nezzy, what do you do?
I clench my squid hook. I stand next to Grimly, and I say, "Get your pistol ready. We might need it."
So you're trying to say, like, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Make a charisma check, and this is probably good for you because you have the best charisma in the group.
Yeah. So 3d6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a 15.
And is that your...
No, my charisma is a 13.
Oh, no. Didn't work. Oh, man. You had such good charisma, too.
Yeah.
Bummer.
There's a lot of numbers there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 13 and 15. Too many numbers. So you yell that, and then you don't know if that worked or not. So what do you go to do directly after you ready your squid hook?
I'm kind of slowly approaching where the explosion came from, but I'm also like want to stay with the group. I don't want to just jump into this situation alone.
Yeah. When you turn around just in time to see Sallie open the door, duck into the room, and a fallen Murken firing on an unknown assailant and hitting them right in the shoulder. So Babbitt is going to charge into the room and knock Sallie to the ground. But because of the way that you behaved with him earlier, he's not doing damage to you. He is like trying to get you out of the way of danger.
Oh, Babbitt.
Oh no. Oh no. He's trying to be a tough guy, and you're making it really hard when you use terms
He
like
doesn't
Babbitt.
want to hit a woman. I love it.
He just kind of brushes you like, "Watch out, miss." And he starts to rush in to the room, and you hear him say, "Alderman Oglesby," like he doesn't realize that this guy is not in any kind of shape to respond at all.
Oh, poor Babbitt.
Grimly going to pull out his flintlock pistol, and Dave, he's going to fire at you.
Oh,
Rude.
It is rude. How many hit points hit protection do you have? What's your HP?
I got this many.
4. Dave.
What?
Dave.
What?
I rolled 6 on a D6.
no.
Already?
Yep. We're going.
You just love to kill me. Wow.
We are going. You're not dead.
Wow.
All right. So the way this game works, you had 4 hit protection. We blew through that.
Yeah.
And we come out the other side, and you have 10 strength. Your strength score is 10. We're going to pull
10.
from that. It's an 8 now. On your sheet, like, remember that it's 10, but mark it 8 because that's what it is. And I need you. This is going to be really hard. I need you to make a strength save by rolling 3d6 and getting under an 8. I don't like that look.
It's a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You hit the ground. You're like You're bleeding. He hits you. It's not like a vital organ or anything.
Yeah.
But like, if this is not tended to, you could die in the very first game. And it would be a shame because you wrote a lot of backstory for this character.
He's been through some
You
shit.
wrote
Yeah.
maybe more stuff than Gail, and she writes a lot.
Wow. Yeah. If this is where his story ends, wow, what a story it was, huh?
What a story was that one day I sat down and
It was a really good story that I alone read of this character. It was so good. This character is so important
As he lies there
to
dying,
the world building of my universe because he invented a game. I don't think the rest of you know this.
Yeah.
David literally invented a sport.
I love this sport too. The more and more
my
I invented it, I was like, this feels like an awesome sport.
But let's not treat it like it's a foregone conclusion. You could totally make it out of this really terrible situation that I created.
I'm just going to start muttering my life story as I lie there quaking, so someone knows.
Yeah. So you hit the ground. That sucked.
Tremolo loses his shit. Not in an angry way. No, Nezbit! Why, Mr. Grimley? How could he have done that? It's in the other room! It makes no sense! He runs over to help Nezbit. I've had knives and bombs, Nezbit. I don't know.
All I have are things that make this worse. Sallie, Babbitt has knocked you to the side. As he is coming into that room, you see, when you hit the ground, you see another window that's open. It's broken. The glass is shattered. The room in here has a really high ceiling. So this would be like a second story window, but in here it's all in the same room. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's just a high window. It's shattered, and you can see a person attached to a rope, like they've been rappelling down the side of this building. And they have a rifle. And they're leaning it on the frame of the window to keep it steady. And they're going to shoot at Babbitt. And Dave, I wish I rolled that for you. Because you'd still be with us. They fire at Babbitt, and Babbitt is like, he kind of came in S-curving. You know what I mean? He was doing the serpentine move through, so he doesn't get shot. But now he's really frazzled because now there's more gunshots happening from above. You kind of just hear him whimper, "I don't know what to do." It's kind of pathetic.
It really is.
It's kind of sad because he's clearly like 20 years old.
Yeah.
It's like he just graduated college. That's the way he says, "I don't know what to do." Like somebody who just graduated college. What do you want to do, Sallie?
Did I just also hear Tremolo yell, "No, Nezbit," and all of that?
It's pretty crazy right now.
Okay.
But you definitely heard Tremolo yelling something about Nezbit. Yeah.
And this guy in the window is clearly shooting at Babbitt, not Murken. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go grab the back of Babbitt's shirt and pull him and say, Come on, Babbitt, we gotta go. We gotta duck and cover, and pull him towards the door. And yeah.
How tall is Sallie? You said she was really thin. How tall is she?
She's not very tall. I mean, literally, she's probably
so
doing
it's just this little elf, grabbing onto the back of this guy's shoulder blades.
Yeah.
Come back. He may not even know you're there.
Yeah, she's probably a full foot and 3 inches shorter than him. Yeah,
shorter than him. So you reach and you grab a hold of him, make a strength check just to get his attention, just to get him moving with your amazing 11 strength.
8.
There you go. Yeah, you grab a hold of him. You leverage it, right? You just kind of leverage it. You got a lower center of gravity.
Yeah.
You jerk him backwards, and he's like, "Ma'am," and he kind of U-turns. He says, "Ma'am, there's someone shooting at us."
I know. Come on. And go back out to where Tremolo and Nezbit are.
All right.
Hopefully with him in front of me, actually.
In front of you going
through the door.
Going through the doors, but
Yeah.
but not between you and the person shooting at him?
Technically, oh.
Yeah.
I guess I was picturing it a little differently. So he was technically between both. Yeah, a little more of me is exposed to the window person than Grimly.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Can I ask for a tiny bit of clarification too?
Yes,
With
sir.
Grimley's gun, you said there's 2 barrels. Is it both shoot at the same time, or is it one and the other?
1 and 1.
Okay, but it's
So
it's like an old powder.
Like a piratey kind of gun. You know that after he shoots the second one, he's not really going to be able to use it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take time. He's going to have to reload. And it's your turn. So what would you like to do? You said you were starting to rush towards Nezbit. And as you're turning around to go towards Nezzy, you can see like through that doorway, there's a shit show happening with Sallie and Babbitt.
Yeah. Tremolo is just focused on Nezbit. He went directly to Nezbit and, again, seriously said the thing about I only have knives and bombs. What am I supposed to do? But if there's clothes on Nezbit that he can rip off or something and use to
shirt, baby.
No shirt.
Yeah.
He's trying to put pressure on it, so that was like right off the bat. And yeah,
you went into full medic mode.
Is Nezbit still conscious right now?
Yeah. He just can't do much. He's in pain.
What do I do? What do I do?
I think he shot me in the back.
I don't know how to stop it. I'm putting all the pressure I can, but I'm a wee little muppet.
Oh, that feels good, though. That feels good. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you just feel these like felt cloth hands with like a little bit of wood structure underneath them, like pressing down on your chest.
I hold my cloth hand up and it's stained red.
It's just absorbing blood.
Why, Mr. Grimley? It makes no sense. Do you have any, you're a fisherman? Do you have any fishing wire and hooks? We must close this hole.
I just have a pack. I don't even have anything in it. Except for 5.
It's awesome pack. I can put a lot of stuff in.
I was on my way up.
You do have one thing in the bag, and it is your friend, right?
It is my friend, a little sea urchin.
Can I suction it?
I don't think that's how sea urchins work, but it's you want to like you want to apply the sea urchin to the wound, and maybe it will just know what to do.
Is it a magical sea urchin? Why do you keep
There's
it as a friend?
only one way to find out, and you just have to make this choice.
And so I do. Yeah, I rummage through his bag, and that's the one thing I find.
And all you come up with is a sea urchin. Its little legs
they're
moving
prickly,
about.
Right?
I mean, what I'm aware of sea urchin is it's a spiny ball, right? It's
it's got it's spines like a cactus almost, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like sticking that around your wound.
Yeah,
I'm sticking that around your wound, trying to like. Yes,
it like sticks to your. There you go.
Yeah,
there it is. Sea urchin, one of those things. Yep, that goes right in the bullet hole.
I'm
right
just doing that in the bullet hole. lightly.
Just kind of rolling it around.
Nezbit, here. It's the only thing you have.
What have you done? You think the only thing I have is the only thing that can heal?
I love that between just using the bag and pressing the bag to it and using the sea urchin that was in the bag, you were like, sea urchin.
Well, the bag's over his shoulder and stuff, right? Or however it's packed. I'd have to get all that
What
off.
kind of bag? Is it just like a little sack he just carries?
Yeah, it's like a burlap sack.
It's just a burlap bag. It's almost the same then, really, if it's burlap. So
do I have
good decision.
Another second, or that's the decision, right?
I feel like
right
that was time well spent.
Okay, great. That's I have stopped. If you've screamed in pain enough and you're like, no, don't do that anymore, I'll stop.
I think we learned a lot in that turn. I think it was good. So Nezzy's not going to do anything because he's getting treated, so to speak. And you hear Grimly go, "Oh shit!" And he steps over Nezzy and makes his way to the doorway. And Sallie, you hear another gunshot as Grimly is firing over your shoulders towards the assailant in the window.
Okay.
Grimly is a beast because he just rolled a 6 again.
Wow.
So you see the dude in the window, if anybody's looking, which I don't think anybody is looking. Sallie might turn her head. This guy in the window, like, just slumps and the rifle falls and into the building. Like it slides off his fingers through the window, clatters into the ground, many feet away from you by the wall. And then he just kind of hangs from this rope that he's been rappelling from, critically wounded.
I think we need to ask Mr. Grimly to join us on our adventures.
I know.
He really knows what he's doing.
We need to consider this man.
Perhaps randomly we could forgive Grimly for what has happened.
Yeah.
All he knows about this guy is he wants some crackers and he shoots him in the back. Wow. What a guy.
Yeah, what a guy.
What a badass.
All right.
What's his name? Babbitt pulls into the room and like closes the door behind you and behind Sallie. Slams it shut.
So Mr. Grimly is inside now, and Babbitt's
yeah, everybody is now back. We've gone back to square one, which is you all in the room all together. The guards are now all in the room together, and whatever was happening in that office is now blocked off by the door. And Babbitt is like huffing. He hasn't run this fast in probably a really long time. And he was like, Alderman Oglesby is Grimly. And he's starting to hear his voice get a little shaky. And Grimly is already starting to like hit his side pouch to start figuring out how to reload this flintlock pistol, which is going to take a little bit. While that's happening, Sallie, what do you want to do?
Have I seen Nezbit yet? Nezzy.
Yeah. That, like, as soon as you come out from behind the mountain that is Babbitt, you see Tremolo rolling a sea urchin on Nezzy's naked chest. You see this octopus tattoo, its tentacles looking like they're strangling his neck, and blood trickling down, and this little mock lizard is rolling a sea urchin on his chest. Frantically going like, I don't know how this works.
Salty's gonna come out a little bit.
Okay.
And she's really sore because these are her two guys. These are my two guys.
Is
and
Salty's like what? Sallie's like, is that her like alter ego?
Kind of.
When it gets bad. Her tough feeling.
Her tough feeling, yep. And I'm guessing Grimly, he's starting to put this, so...
he's next to you. So he's just going to his pouch. He hasn't really started reloading anything. He hasn't had time to even really do that.
So is his gun in his hand?
Yeah. He's kind of doing that thing where he's like trying to like tuck it under one arm to use his other hands to get his supplies, you know?
Yeah, I want to grab it.
Okay. Make a dex.
Just snatch it.
Give me a little dex.
Come on, Dex.
With your 15.
8.
Yep. You snatch it away from him, and then what do you want to do? You got some movement. You can move and do an action on a turn. What do you want to... Are you busting out?
How far away am I from the entrance to this building?
The entrance that you all came in through.
Yes.
You are like 35 feet away.
Okay.
You could if you move now, you're pretty quick. I mean, you could probably get to the door.
All right, I want to get to the door with the gun and taunt him with it. I wish I had a gun that I could taunt you all with.
For those of you listening on the podcast version of that, Gail is moving her hand just kind of side to side in a ferocious taunt. That would be significantly better if she had a Nerf gun.
Because it might just look like a wave at this juncture.
Yeah,
I will.
Because
I
right
can
now
get a
she's
Nerf
just kind
gun
of waving
with nail polish.
With nail polish, you'll have a gun. Next sesh, you'll have a gun that you won't really need. All right, so you run over to the side. You.
The
have
point
a
is,
gun.
I'm trying to distract him from my two friends, and Murken, because we're apparently here to guard him, and I don't want to get in trouble for not guarding him. So I got to get the bad guys away from Murken and my guys, and so we're going to the entrance. So you want the gun, come get it.
All right. This is a problem for them now. All right. I like it. Tremolo, buddy.
Yes.
What would you like to do now, sir? The sea urchin, like Nezzy doesn't look...
Yes, this did not work, and Nezbit is in horrible agony, and Mr. Grimley was trying to reload his gun instead of helping. And I have had it up to here, and I reach in and I pull one of my bombs out, and I say, "Look here, everybody! Cool your jets! Somebody fix Nezbit, or I'll blow the whole shed up!"
Yes. You hold up a bomb and you threaten to blow the whole shit up. And the only way Tremolo can make that kind of threat. Beautifully. David, you're just watching as this has just gone from like bad to worse. I love this. Grimly like hits Babbitt and like just like hits him in the arm and then grabs his lapel of his jacket, his two jacket, and says, he like pulls him down to his level and he says, "Go get my gun now." And Babbitt like straightens up and looks, takes a couple steps forward and looks at Sallie. Sallie, what kind of face do you make when you see Babbitt is coming in your direction?
I smile, real confident like.
Let's do it. I'm going to make a charisma save for my own character.
Okay.
And if he fails, you've won him over with your
feminine
wiles. Babbitt turns around with a big frown facing Grimly. And he says, "We either work together or we die alone." And he grabs a hold of Grimly and shoves him up against the wall. Huge backbone on this guy right now.
Babbitt clearly watches Lost. That's
Babbitt watches Lost and loved almost every second of it. Except for that like second to last episode.
Right.
Like everyone.
That second to last episode that let everybody down, including Babbitt, who didn't need that in his life. And that's how he ended up a low-level thug.
Yeah.
For Alderman Oglesby.
Formed his trajectory. Yeah.
Yeah. He shoves him up against the wall. Grimly tries to like wrestle away, but Babbitt forcibly pins him up against the wall. And you guys hear another gunshot in the office.
Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. I thought that was it.
You hear Grimly say, under his breath, when he realizes he can't move, "We gotta get the goddamn money, Babbitt."
Actually, first, Tremolo is a lot closer, still out of arm's length,
Yes.
but a lot closer holding the bomb. Actually, you have to fix my friend Nezbit, or you'll all die. Very soon. If he dies, you all die.
I love it that we all signed on for 12 episodes of this. And episode 2 is going to be brand new characters, probably.
I'll take control of Babbitt, maybe. No, Babbitt's probably going to die too. All right.
No, this whole story is getting scrapped. Whatever this story was.
Whatever.
Yeah, this will be the
It'll
news
be in the
story.
newspapers.
It'll be the news
group.
story that our characters are reading at the beginning of the next episode. Oh, wow.
It will absolutely be that. You're doing the job for me. I love it.
No problem.
Babbitt says, let me make a quick roll for Babbitt. And he says, no, you get the money. I'm going to fix this guy. And Babbitt turns around and starts walking, knowing that Grimly, as hard as this man is, could not touch him in a fight, in a fist fight. He's that confident. He's like, you don't have a gun, you ain't got shit, right? And he starts walking back, huge, confident Babbitt. He's maybe aged a couple years in this moment watching Oglesby die. He seems to have maybe the affection of an older woman. And he walks over and he starts pulling out a little sewing kit from his jacket. And he kneels down next to Tremolo. Or next to Nezzy. I don't know if Tremolo's watching. Where are you ever you want to be? And he starts
was by
going,
Grimly.
Stand by Grimly.
Yeah, I'm still by Grimly right now, actually.
Yeah. And he starts going to work on Nezzy. You guys hear another gunshot in the other room.
Shit. Fuck.
Sallie, what do you want to do?
I want to take care of this. By the way, all that Sallie is thinking is that Babbitt is cute and young and needs to be saved just as much as her friends here.
Yep.
So that is on the line. But I'm going to beeline for the office. Was the door closed? Did we close the door behind us? It did get closed behind us. Okay. To do basically what I did before. I don't know if I can also somersault back in.
Sallie, before you go, Mr. Grimly, would you please hand my friend all of your powder and bullets? And I look at him with my black beady eye.
Dead black eye. Mockeries are cute sometimes. And then they're really scary.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, Sallie, what was it that you were wanting to do? You were wanting to run in. You want to go back into the fray, right?
Mm-hmm. But they are kind of, I don't know, right?
They're in the way.
You're in the way.
They're right in front of the door. Yeah.
Okay.
So you come up to the door,
mm-hmm.
and then maybe that's when Tremolo says, hey, give her the stuff.
Yeah. I agree. Tremmy's really smart.
Between the two of you and the bomb, I'm going to say Grimly undoes his belt buckle and pulls out off his belt, whips it out from around his waist and his powder pouch and a little pouch of balls, of little musket balls, falls to the ground. And they're just laying there. He's not going to pick them up.
Okay. All right, do we get to react to the section?
Yeah.
Okay,
what do you want to
do? Since somebody's going to have to bend down to get them, can I reach over and undo the door and then somersault to pick them up and roll through the door?
You want to you're like a circus performer. You're like,
yes.
What? And then you cartwheel into the room. All right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to deftly reach down, scoop up these two pouches with one hand. The left hand is going to prop itself for a somersault, and you're going to cartwheel over, and your left leg is going to kick the door handle. Your right leg is going to push the door open.
I like that better. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
You're going to roll in with a musket and the stuff to load it in each hand.
Yep.
And you see Nothing but dead bodies.
Shit.
There's another guy who looks like he may have been with the third party.
Yeah.
And he is laying on the ground dead. Smoke coming from that pistol that Murken fired. Both their hands clutching the medical bag that was in Murken's hand.
Is Murken dead? Or down?
You go over there and he's just, bits of felt and stuffing right around his chest.
Hey, Sallie, how's Murken doing?
We're all great in here now.
I'm going for cover first. I don't know if there's still snipers or what in this room, so going for cover. The closest cover I can find.
You roll over behind like a desk that's been like flipped over from the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your turn.
Yeah, that feels good. Yep.
Tremolo, what do you want to do?
I'm really apologize, Mr. Grimley, that it had to be like this. If you were just a tiny bit more polite, we wouldn't have had to strong-arm you the way that we have had to do. I still don't understand. Why did you shoot my friend Nezbit? It really makes little to no sense. Now, you're saying that there's money in the bag? That's what you want? That's why you want to go around shooting people? For money in the bag?
And he looks down at you with this just like look of crazed confusion and realizes, oh, he has no idea what's going on. And when you see that click in his head, he looks into the room and sees that pretty much everybody's down. And he runs from you and goes straight towards Murken. And Sallie, you see him run in, bend over, and grab the bag. Nezzy, you're getting sewed up. I'm going to say you've got 3 HP right now. Like, nothing's been going on. They've been working on you. Like,
yeah,
you were in really bad position. Like, you're not getting your strength back. So you're hurt.
Yeah.
But you could get out of here. You've been tended to. You got the sea urchin medical attention first. That was super effective.
Right. Yeah.
And then, less so was the person with the needle and thread. Mm-hmm. Babbitt. He's stitching it up. You're going to be okay.
Why? I'm not quite sure why he would have done such a thing, but thank you, my dear mate. Oh.
So Babbitt's kind of like propping you up, and he's like, you're going to be okay. My mom was a nurse.
So adorable.
From the other room, Sallie heard that while she's loading a gun.
From the other room. Oh my God, he's so cute.
Gosh, he's so cute, guys. Almost as cute as Tremolo.
Do you know much about Grimley? Does he have a habit of shooting men in their backs?
Babbitt says he has a habit of shooting people, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's always in their backs or not. I mean, I've seen him shoot them front ways, sideways, back ways, slant ways.
But he's a shoot first, ask questions later kind of chap. Delightful.
He doesn't ask much questions, to be honest. Like, he doesn't ask questions after he shoots people at all. It's more like he shoots first and then he shoots last.
I would love to finally find out the answer to my question. What exactly was up his ass? My dear.
So, with that burning question, it's the title of this particular episode. What was up his ass? That'll get the clicks.
What precisely was up Mr. Grimley's ass?
Episode 1.
Describe it. Describe it in detail.
This week on Out of Depth Plays HACKWAY Heights. What was precisely up Mr. Grimley's ass? Our story begins with Grimly and his asshole. Yep. I don't know what audience we're getting with this, but we're getting one. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they may not stay long.
Yeah. Episode 2, like, there's a lot less ass story in this episode. Closed.
If we ever do well, and we have like fans who go the whole way through, I don't expect any of these. But if one does, they'll be like, remember in the beginning when it was all about Grimly's asshole? Look how much they've grown.
Or how much they've declined, because that was peak.
That was peak, depending on the person. I was like, I wish there was more Grimly's asshole. Really?
Yeah, they didn't dive.
We never
into
solved that mystery.
They really didn't. They didn't really delve into that as much as they should have.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of content there.
It's a review on iTunes podcast. It's like 1 star, too much ass play. Skip it.
5 stars, not enough ass play.
Yeah, and then we're just a 3-star because one person dug it and one didn't like it, and one of those was probably a family member of ours, because those are probably the only people who listen to it. But we'll never know which one it was.
We love you, listeners.
Listener.
Thank you, person who listens.
Listeners.
I'm talking to you directly.
This is a message just for you.
Just for you.
Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah, Grimly, the asshole, is reaching down, grabbing the bag and he like yanks it, and Murken's iron hand comes unattached from Murken's body. You hear it rip, and it's just kind of flopping on the handle. And Grimly turns around, sees you all.
Well, just Sallie, right? Because he's in that other room.
Just Sallie, right? Yeah. He turns around and sees Sallie. And he says, you can have your friends. You can have the big dummy in there. But I'm walking out of here. Are we clear? Sallie, what do you do?
I say, Tremolo, bomb! And I duck under the desk.
Tremolo, you hear, Tremolo, bomb, from Sallie.
Yes.
And you look into the doorway and you see Grimly with the bag.
Well, I'll say this. So I had my own thing. So while that was happening, when he ran into the room, I could tell he was going to go after whatever he was trying to go after. You know, money, it seemed like.
That's fair.
He was talking about. And so I'm guessing, I don't know exactly where it's at, but that Nezbit's long scythe staff had been dropped near his body somewhere, fairly close to where I was standing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's what Tremolo was going after. So he dropped the sea urchin. Sorry if it has any kind of, if Nezbit cares about it or not. He doesn't know that.
It's
so
like it's still like prickled into Nezzy's skin, just like hanging there, barbed in.
And then I was going to pick up Nezbit's scythe thing. So that's what
so
he was
switching out the bomb for the.
No, he still got the bomb.
Hook.
I thought that I had the sea urchin in one hand and the bomb in another hand.
The deal with the squid hook is that it's bulky and it takes 2 hands.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't do both.
Well, I would
drop
say
the bomb.
I would be in the middle of doing this when she says bomb. But so I would be I'd be closer to Nezbit right now.
Okay.
Having one hand on the sea hook thing, picking it up, and the bomb still in my hand when I hear her yell bomb.
Yeah. So the door opens. Grimly runs in. You run in the other direction to go get the squid hook. You go to grab it. It's going to be bigger than you can handle with just the one hand. You still have the bomb in the other, and you hear Tremolo, bomb. So I think you can still go because, I mean, you were just describing what you were doing during like the last whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do now?
How do these bombs work?
Good question. I assumed you threw it. But
Calls it a mock bomb. I imagine they look like a cartoon, like round ball with the fuse.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to be something else, that's fine
Well,
by me.
The only thing that I worry about is, and I was thinking about this before, if it had a fuse, I don't have any way to light it.
Okay. It doesn't have to do that. I mean, we didn't really discuss it, and I want you to be able to use it is really all that matters to me.
Yeah, I like that same kind of cartoon bomb thing, but instead it just has like a kind of a red button thing on the top that you push down, and then you've got how many? Let's say it now, and I'll write it down so we remember. How many seconds do we have after we push the button?
Let's roll for it.
Okay.
We'll roll a d6, and that'll tell us how many seconds every bomb has.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Don't be a 1.
Oh, I'll do it right now.
Make things dramatic.
I can do it or you can do it.
I got it. A 4. Shit.
4 seconds.
4 seconds.
Solid. You get 4 seconds.
I'll just, pause it a little bit before you throw it.
Yeah.
So it's not just sitting at their feet for 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he's standing there holding that. He's got the bomb in the hand. Here's Sallie yell, "Tremolo, bomb." And the way that she says it, too, Tremolo just goes for it. He drops it, clicks it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, throws it, rolls into the room with them.
Ding, 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 ding. Hey everybody, before we get to the rest of this episode, I just wanted to take a minute to ask for your support. Gail and I really love making this podcast, and we really love playing with our friends and telling stories and all the stuff that we've been doing on YouTube. And if you're listening at home and thinking you'd like to give us a little token of appreciation, you absolutely can. Just open up another tab and go to patreon.com/getoutofdepth, and you can lend us a hand monetarily. We're trying to make our content here better while paying any artists that we have involved. Any money made from the Patreon, it goes back into the production of content like this show. So if you head over to patreon.com/getoutofdepth, you can help us make all of this stuff better. And we don't have much to offer other than the product you're listening to now and our eternal gratitude, but who knows, as support for our content grows, so shall our capacity to reward those who've given us a hand. And you can be a part of that by going to patreon.com/getoutofdepth and signing up for any tier that you feel comfortable with. Thank you all so much for listening this far. Holy shit. And now that we've gotten all of this stuff out of the way, let's get back to the rest of the episode. There is an explosion. Sallie, you might get touched by this bomb. What's the damage, Tremolo?
Oh, a D8. I'll roll
D8.
it.
So, Sallie, you are under cover. What'd you roll?
I rolled an 8. So that's great for hurting other person. Sorry, Sallie. She is behind something, right?
Yeah, she is behind something. Sallie, what is your hit protection, your HP?
4.
4.
4.
Okay. Let's see how well this desk holds up.
Okay.
Oh, pretty good. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you have 1 hit protection left?
Okay.
Because I rolled a 5 on a d6. So it was close. It was close. That could have dropped you to exactly 0 if I rolled 1 less. And the desk is now like gone. Like you crouch down behind the desk. You crouch down behind the desk, and the explosion happens, and like you don't see it, but like the desk flies up over your head and flips and goes through the wall into the room. So like Tremolo, you just throw the bomb through the door, and then a desk comes through the wall next to the door as it explodes. And you said you did an 8. So now we have to see. Here's the downside. I mean, you explode grimly. Grimly's dead. That's an 8. He's not going to make it. But the big deal here is what was in the bag. If the bag makes it.
I think was an explosive proof bag. From what I remember, Murken talking to me before, like we were doing like some mockery to mockery.
Mock talk.
Like, yeah. Proof bag. Talk. So you can throw any bombs you want to around it. It's totally cool.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm still going to check.
Yeah, maybe we should roll to see if Murken was telling the truth. That's
probably
what the roll should be.
Yeah, let's roll for that. Yeah, that's not true.
That's true. Let's roll for bullshit.
He was a liar.
Murken.
Nathan, do you you're rolling on an online kind of dice roller, right?
Yeah.
Can you roll a D4?
Yeah, 1 D4.
Yeah.
Yep. 2.
All right. It survives. You see the bag fly up in the air. A cloud of smoke. Yeah, so like a huge billow of smoke comes through the doorway. And Babbitt turns around. Oh my. You killed Mr. Grimley.
I told him I would use the bomb. I told him. Mr. Grimley was a very sour man. He did not trust others. He didn't trust a word we said. We said the whole time we were friendly. We just wanted to share crackers. And then I said, either do what we say or I will blow us all away. And I'm a muppet of my word.
Eye for an eye, Babbitt. He took a shot and so did we.
Blood and sea urchin.
Even
eye for an eye. The dust settles. Sallie, your like ears ringing. What do you do?
I need to get out. Can I get out of this room?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could either go out through the door or the new hole where the desk went through it.
I was going to say there's more ways to get out now.
There's so many ways to get out of this room. Really?
Out at this point.
I do want to grab the bag.
Okay.
Does it still have the iron hand?
Yeah, of course it does.
Oh, yes.
It's still wrapped tightly around the handle.
Awesome.
For sure.
Is there a briefcase around here?
Not that you see.
Okay. All right.
The rifle's still in there. Lord knows what happened with the bomb, but there's a rifle in there.
All right. I'm gonna put the gun and powder and balls in the bag. Or in my bag.
In your bag.
My bag. I don't know if I can open this bag, so we'll just put it in mine. And do I want to grab that rifle? I'm not much of that. I don't really like rifles. I'll let one of you all grab it if you want it. I just come out and say, it was an ambush, guys. We gotta go. Mr. Murken is like dead, and like we gotta get this back to Mr. Dickey. He's not gonna like any of this, and I don't know what was going on here.
Doesn't look like we have anyone to fear anymore, unless you see any other people firing shots.
Well, I hope they got scared away by Tremolo's bomb. That was very good thinking, Tremolo. Thank you.
Oh, well, at your service, Miss Sallie. You say bomb, and I'll send you a bomb. I'm just glad you're not dead.
Oh,
I thought it might have been a horrible choice, throwing a bomb in a room that you were in. Right after I threw it, I started to think maybe she just meant for me to send her a bomb that she could use whenever she wanted. But, I think kind of quickly on my feet. Not properly sometimes.
Tremolo, you're my kind of chap. I fall down, you're right on top of me, shoving an urchin into a wound.
I thought you would die too. I thought we all would die, to be honest.
Oh my god. Absolutely. And Babbity, we should all stick together and go figure this out. I think there is like a gang out there that's hunting people like us down. So we should probably go back either to Mr. Dickey or Mr. Oglesby or something like that. Well, Mr. Oglesby's gone, but figure this out. But why don't we all leave together and find a safe spot and figure it out there?
Sallie, my dear, would you mind if I have our deceased friend's gun? If it could take me down, that's a strong weapon.
Absolutely. And I get out my bag. And all the stuffs.
Yep.
I've already got history with this gun. Delightful.
The gun that nearly killed me in episode 1.
Well, before we run back to Mr. Dickey, don't you think we should at least see what's in this case?
I think I know. Can I open it?
Yeah. You just have to pry open the
Is
fingers.
it like a puppet arm, so you have to like push it in so the fingers will open?
Yeah.
It's actually like a human-sized hand.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little different than his fox hand. It looked like something that he had put on later. Like it was added to his body later.
Like a hook is added to a human's
hand. Like a hook.
Okay.
You're able to like pry the fingers off under this and you open it up.
I hand the hand to Tremolo. I feel like it's a mockery thing, so I should.
Yeah. Tremolo's like really checking it out.
What's we got?
You open the bag. The winds of the snowstorm outside howling through the holes in the walls and the windows. The little sound of snowfall hitting the window glass on the ground outside. Everybody's breath is visible, and you see thousands of dollars. Maybe even $20,000.
You guys, look at this hand. And I'm just like clinking it open and closed.
It's really amazing, Tremolo. Jay, is this was would I assume this was money that Murken brought?
It is the money that Murken brought, yeah.
Okay.
Nezbit's kind of like going through the money and just kind of like seeing if it's like fully full and if there's anything else besides money in there, but is kind of shocked just to see.
It's like banded together in stacks.
Yeah.
Do you like full out dump it on the ground to look at it?
Well, I'm just kind of picking up like this stack and then this stack. It's like, is there more money under this stack? Is there more money under that stack?
Goes deep.
Yeah.
Mr. Babbitt, so we now know what we brought here. Do you know what was in the briefcase?
No. No, they don't tell me things.
But you worked for Mr. Ogilvy's, right?
Yeah, Oglesby was my boss.
Well,
Grimley was kind of my boss, but we both worked for Oglesby.
But you don't know what this whole thing was about. You are just in the dark as we, eh?
I was told we were coming to collect a payment.
Collect a payment. So, Mr. Dick was paying off Ogilvy for something, and someone else interfered. Huh.
Tremolo is dragging that metal fist around and into that other room, looking around because, I mean, like, he doesn't know if what's going on in that room. He hasn't actually walked into that room. So he's walking around and looking around.
So you see two, in addition to, well, there's probably nothing left of Murken. So there's like tufts of cotton and fabric everywhere. Probably the same is true for the Thin Man. And
even more so now. He was already splattered and
like it was bad. It was bad a minute ago. They got double grenaded. You, Jesus. And then Grimly is, he's, we'll never know what was up his ass. And,
he got arnsted.
Yeah. So you come in, you see it too. And then off in the distance, you can see in the window a body hanging from a rope.
How low is it hanging from the window? Like low enough to reach, or
well, no? So like the window is like 20 feet. It's like kind of like a skylight kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And he's outside the building. The glass is broken. You can kind of see him wading back and forth, the creak of his rope, sounding just barely over the howling winds. They all seem to appear to have a uniform on.
I was just about to ask if they're wearing anything similar.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to get closer into...
Yeah, so like Tremolo says something around like, all of these guys look the same. Like they were dressed up for this. Come here. Look.
You see they have like white button-up shirts, and then over that shirt is a vest, lots of pockets, pouches, like a denim vest. They have heavy boots and brown slacks, work pants.
So there's the one hanging from the window, and then
there was one near. There were two near the Murken. So there was one that was in there initially, and then apparently a third one came in after the fact.
And they came in how?
Possibly through the broken windows. You're not really sure how they came in. I mean, there's
so there
other
are
windows.
Lower windows that are broken.
Yeah.
That are, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Tremolo wants to look through the mini pockets on the vests.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You search through the many pockets, and you find little bibs and bobs like screws, nuts and bolts. You see, everybody's got like a little bit of rope on them that's been singed or fired up from the 2 grenade blasts. And on one of the pouches, you can see on the vest, there's a tag, a name tag. And the logo associated with that tag says that these people belong to the Union of Structural Integrity.
And would we know what that is?
Yeah. So here's a little lore of this area. All of these skyscrapers that are abandoned, all these large buildings and factories that are abandoned in these like 6 or 7 city blocks, they have these trams, and we had described this on the map that I showed you guys. They have, or I think I've showed you guys. I may not have explained it to you. I may have did that somewhere else. But this area has these like those cable gondolas that take you up to the top of mountains.
Yeah.
But instead of going to the top of mountains, they take you to the top of these buildings.
Okay.
And the reason this area is called Freehold is because every single one of these abandoned buildings is a part of a lottery system. And people in HACKWAY Heights enter this lottery and they win the building. But it's like, imagine being you, and you win a 20-floor building that's abandoned. It's property, which is great, but nobody has anything to do with it, really. And so what most of these buildings are large buildings that then have new homes built on the top of them that these winners build, because they're like, I don't want to live inside an office building. So they have new houses built on top.
But is this considered like prestigious? Does this have like a value? Like why do people want to build on top of skyscrapers? Just because that's all you can do?
That's about all you can do with them, right?
So it's not like a prestigious thing to win necessarily.
Not
People
really.
aren't like...
Not really,
Okay.
because when you die, you don't get to keep the building.
It just goes back into the lottery.
It goes back into the lottery.
It's just property in a place that's hard to get property.
Yeah.
Right. But if you had a friend that won the lottery, you wouldn't be like, oh my gosh. You'd be like, oh, what are you going to do with that building?
Yeah, what are you going to do with that mess? That's going to be interesting.
Got it. All right.
Maybe you'll get to use the home that the person who lived there before. A lot of the people who live there, like, they tear down those buildings when they realize that their time's up. They don't want the person who wins it afterwards to have a free house.
So the time expires, or is it on death?
On death.
On death.
So you don't get to keep it. You don't get to pass
I know.
it
I'm just
down.
saying, like, they might tear it down when they're getting sick and elderly.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, I have cancer. I need to go tear down my house.
Yeah, I need to tear down my house
So-
because I'm petty. This is mine.
Knowing that,
Okay.
there is a union of structural integrity.
Mhm.
And these are people that investigate all of these buildings to make sure that they are structurally sound to continue supporting whatever's on top. And some of them investigate these buildings looking for stuff to sell. So they have two different kind of jobs they do. One is making sure the buildings are safe, and the other is maybe finding office equipment that they can hawk for money. And it looks like these three people belong to that union.
Well, by golly. Looks like someone powerful put a hit out on someone else that's powerful. What a shock.
Well, maybe the briefcase was stolen from them, and they came to reclaim it before it could be
Yeah.
sold.
Yeah, I bet Oglesby either had people in structural integrity or like just had people also scoping out the buildings, and then structural integrity found out about it. And there's something mighty juicy in that briefcase worth that much money.
Can any of these scallywags be revived so we can find out a little more about why they were doing such
Bombs away.
No. No. they're in
Even
pieces.
that dangling guy, though, he's in one piece.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You got to go outside and go get them, though.
That's a lot of work.
It's effort, yeah.
There might be a ladder up there.
I feel like that's a part
also
of this
very-
game is how much effort do you want to expend?
Well, it's a very public thing getting that guy down. We don't know if there's any more people creeping and crawling, I suppose.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I work in sabotage, so I was looking more to just cover up the scene when I asked for that bomb. And I think I covered it up pretty well.
Well, let me say this. We are now bonded, the three of us. The four of us, Babbitt. I'm not forgetting about you. Babbitt,
I
you
go
saved
up
my
and
life.
Babbitt's still just standing in the other room.
No.
I pop
Babbitt,
her
you
up
saved my
to
life.
give him a
Tremolo, you
kiss.
saved my life. Sallie, you didn't necessarily save my life, but we're bonded. Okay.
I was worried about you, though, Nezzy boy. I was
felt-
trying to get them away so that we could take care of you. That's what I was trying to do.
I felt your well wishes. Worry not. But we have now entered ourselves in a situation that we have to decide how we want to handle. We have a lot of money now. Do we just go back to Mr. Dick and say, here's all your little money, you little Muppet shark? Or
Mockeries. Mockery shark.
mockery shark?
Muppet is a derogatory term. Tremolo can use it, but you can't.
I don't exactly have fond
Muppet
feelings
belongs to
for
the Jim
Mr.
Henson
Dick.
Company, of which we are not associated.
We are not associated. We don't
All right.
need cease and desist.
So we should not use Muppet as a derogatory
Yeah.
term.
I've already done it at least twice.
I know, that's what-
Speaking
At
of
least-
Tremolo, which was a
at least
great
twice.
save there, Gail.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just can never remember every time I'm like
Mockery.
puppet. No, it starts with an M. Muppet.
Muckies.
Yep.
All right.
It's,
Yeah.
yep.
Mockery.
All right.
It is a mockery.
Because I don't
They
know about
preferred
you.
fabricated American. No.
No.
That's also, I'm pretty sure, copywritten. Anyway,
Wasn't it from like Greg the Bunny?
Greg the Bunny. Yeah.
Wasn't that Greg the Bunny reference?
Hey, don't call us puppets. Call us fabricated Americans.
I think it was.
Yep.
Great show.
Great show.
We might be able to afford all of our freedom with something with a something of this nature. But
Well, that makes me wonder, because did this money come from Mr. Dick in the first place?
exactly.
So if we give this money back to him, that's just him having his money he already had. It's not really the 10,000 that we owe him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
and
Maybe we should keep the money and
he
tell him
doesn't
it was
know-
lost.
he doesn't know that people
And
made
invest
away
it.
with it. Anyhow, invest it. Be able to get some interest and suspiciously pay off our debt in the future.
Slowly. We'll
Slowly.
keep the capital and send the interest to Mr. Dick. It'll only take... I don't know how it works. I'm trying to act like I know what I'm speaking about.
Just these dead eyes looking at you guys. I don't
Honestly,
know how it works.
the best way to pay off our debt might just be to return the case. We don't know exactly what he'll do for our honesty, but it will certainly let us know exactly how fair he plans to treat us. And hiding this money and paying it back slowly with in a non-suspicious way would eventually probably be quite suspicious. This is a pickle, my friends.
Dude, I have a question, because
Mhm.
Tremolo's just rummaging all over these dead people the whole time. It's not that big of a deal to him.
Pockets.
Do any of them have any guns that are laying around? I mean, we have the rifle that's in there, but I'm guessing it's a mess, anyhow. But
Hang on, let me see. The two guys who had guns, the rifle is salvageable.
Okay.
And one of the flintlock guns from the other two is also salvageable. So you're able to get a rifle and a pistol.
cool. So yeah, Tremolo finds the pistol on one of them in the middle of us talking about this, and just pulls it out and waves it around. Look what I found! Look,
Yep.
I got another pistol. We'll be ready next time, right,
Yes.
chaps?
Yes.
And Tremolo,
Tremolo, put
who's
that
normally
away.
blue, is also stained purple with blood and gore from sifting through all these dead bodies.
I'm trying to help Nezbit earlier.
Tremolo, Sweetums, how do you get blood out of yourself?
Oh, there's you have to get a foaming detergent that will grab and pull it out and release. But you have to do it in a timely manner.
Oh, okay.
I need to do that right now, actually.
Okay,
Puts a
I suggest
gun- his
cold
arms
water.
disappear in his thing, and he puts
Not
a gun
hot
in.
water, cold water.
Yes.
Okay.
This is not our mockery friend's first time being covered in blood.
That reminded me, the way that you just did that reminded me of the Ed McMahon impersonation that what's the SNL guy's name?
Oh.
But yeah.
Oh man, I can't remember.
Right. Yeah, Johnny. I can't remember that guy's name. Oh, he was awesome. Anyhow.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tremolo he's looking for water and stuff to get these stains out of his fabric. It's very important to him to get these stains out of his fabric.
Well, I would imagine I would have some water in there just to put my little urchin friend in.
You have like a little mason jar, a big mason jar that you.
Your friend is
I have
still
some
on the floor,
milk.
by the way.
Oh, yeah. I'll put Prick back in the
Not helpful.
in the little jar, but
Pretty good size jug.
Mm.
It's pig's
We're-
milk.
We're down
Oh, that's
by the
right. You just inexplicably have weird milk
Yes.
that you've been carrying this whole time.
Yes.
we're on the docks, right? Am I right?
I don't know,
No.
actually. No, we're not. We're
That's right.
landlocked. Yeah.
Yeah, we're landlocked.
You guys are landlocked, yeah.
Halfway
Quick
heights.
getaway to the docks. Let's get the fuck out of there.
Goodbye, Hackway Heights.
You can see, like, as you guys are discussing these things, like, well, what if we invest it, or what if we take the money and we pay it back and we get our freedom? And you can just see, like, this existential crisis playing across those baby blue eyes of Babbitt. I think that money's supposed to go to Mr. Oglesby.
Well, Mr. Oglesby is everywhere. Can't exactly go to him anymore.
And what Mr. Oglesby was supposed to give to Mr. Dickey for the money is gone.
Do you?
I don't mind helping us get it, though.
Do you have someone over Oglesby? Like, now that Oglesby dead, do you have someone that you work for?
Did you talk to him like an idiot? Like, now that Oglesby dead.
No. Now that Oglesby is
get
dead.
Money.
No,
where money go now?
That's not what I said.
That's the thing.
I use connecting words.
Oglesby isn't dead, right? The Slender Man wasn't Oglesby.
That is Oglesby, yeah.
That is Oglesby.
Yeah.
So also, you guys are standing at the murder of an alderman.
Murder scene.
Oh, wow.
Is he recognizable? Any features?
No, I think we cleaned him up.
Yeah, he's
scattering him around.
I think he's, here. There's a little bit on the desk.
Well,
okay.
I hope your bombs aren't distinctive and trackable, because that would be bad for us.
It just so happens that they are.
So it seems like we've just murdered an alderman.
Oh.
Yeah. It seems like you've murdered 3 union members, a high-ranking alderman, and one of the right-hand men to one of the most powerful men, mock sharks in all of Hackway Heights, and are currently in possession of his $20,000.
Well, we have gotten ourselves in a pickle, and the least thing I want is to have us stealing this money be an additional part of the pickle that we're in.
Hey, do you guys remember?
We might need
this
Mr.
morning,
Dick's protection on this.
You guys remember this morning when we were only in debt for $10,000? That was nice. That was actually a lot nicer than all of this.
It was. Okay, Tremolo, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have asked for that if I had known that they were trackable. Because I was hoping
they're
that
not really trackable. Don't do that. How would they track a bomb? What are you doing?
I don't know. Maybe they're
very
pieces.
distinctive.
People do track bombs. I've read a whole book. Anyway, but I don't know why they trace it to him.
You've read a book about tracking bombs?
Yes, there's an ATF. They track bombs. Like serial bombers have specifics that they like to do. Anyway.
Okay, wait a minute, guys. Who are we playing this game with now? Gail, I thought I knew
you. No, it's a book about a bomber in town where 3 of us met in Bowling Green, Kentucky, who killed somebody in my hometown.
Oh man!
And now we just killed an alderman.
Blew her up
in a fictional universe.
Yes, and so I just know all these little details about bombs now.
All right, anyway, we're going to put a pin in that for a later conversation.
But Tremolo, okay, so if they were Tremolo, have you ever used any of these bombs before?
No, I was handed these bombs by Mr. Dick for something I was supposed to do for him before I got into jail. And yes, so I don't know where they come from.
But they came from Mr. Dick. Oh.
Apparently they work.
Yes, they do. All right. I say we need to get back to Mr. Dick.
We should get out of here as soon as possible, that's for sure.
Babbity boy, walk with us. We'll get you taken care of, okay?
All right.
Do Nezbit, Sallie, do either one of you have a hideout place? Somewhere we can go?
Yes. But honestly, we should probably just go straight to Mr. Dick.
I really got to get these stains out of my fabric.
All right.
Out damn spot.
Is there a fountain nearby?
There's a lot of snow outside.
Oh, that's right. There's a lot of snow. Let's do this.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I was going to do if I was thinking that we were on the dock. I was going to just jump in the ocean. But yeah, do it in the snow instead. Just run outside and jump in the snow and, like, try to get this shit off.
There's like a huge snow pile, and you burrow into the middle of it, and you just spin around a ton of times.
Like the spin.
So
whirling around.
First, I take off my scarf and my little hooded cloak, and then it's just a naked blue lizard.
Nobody can look.
Mockery. Yes.
Everyone
look away. Look away. Look away.
When someone tries to figure out the crime scene, this is going to confuse the hell out of them.
Yeah, this is going to be so fucking crazy. Doing snow angels. My tail's doing a big wide thing on the bottom.
Yeah. Broken crackers on the ground.
Okay,
inside.
so it looks like these guys came in through here. There was another party that came in here, and they're like, yeah, I think this is a pretty open shut case. And I go, wait a second. Jim, look over here outside. The hell is this? And it's just like this pink,
bloody
white,
snow angel.
All these pink
snow
angels.
lizard forms, winged lizard shapes.
Jay, what type of factory was this abandoned factory? Or can I tell?
It was a glue factory.
There's a glue factory. Is there still, I don't know, barrels of chemicals and stuff?
That stuff was probably collected
Pilfered.
and sold
Yes.
a long time ago.
Okay. But it's still, and what is the walls and such made of?
Concrete,
The
brick.
structure. It's concrete. Okay. How much powder was in that powder pouch that Grimley had?
Enough for 2 more shots.
And did you give that to me along with the
Yeah,
gun?
she did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to see if I could set it all on fire.
Just set this whole bit. Let's just burn this mother down.
I mean, I've burned a lot of things down in my time. But they were mostly like wooden structures, so I don't know that this is going to work.
How long does it take to reload that
gun? Let's see. Nathan, what do you think? How long does it take to do that?
It took at least a whole turn because he skipped his turn.
Yeah.
Well, he never even got started. How long do you think it would take a person back in the olden days? Did they teach you how to do that in Blue Jacket?
Yeah. Yeah.
If a guy knew what he was doing, could he do it in like 30 seconds?
No.
7 minutes?
I'd say 3 minutes is fast.
Okay. 3 minutes is fast. Let's go with 3 minutes then.
2 minutes? 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes now that it's your weapon.
Okay.
3 minutes for Grimley.
While we're and I'm going to try and just reload this in case it's needed.
Yeah, you can reload it. It's ready for 2 shots.
All right.
And as you guys are walking away, like one person saying we should go back to Mr. Dick. Another person seems not as eager to go back to Mr. Dick with this money. Tremolo, where do you stand on it?
I don't trust Mr. Dick any longer. He sent me on an errand, by the way, while I'm snowing myself off still.
We just keep walking.
He sent me on an errand that I don't believe I was the right person for the job in the least bit, and I was quickly apprehended and put in jail. It was supposed to be the errand that would set me free from Mr. Dick finally, but instead now I'm indebted to him more than I would ever imagine that I could be, and I don't believe that it was all on the up and up. And
I don't trust Mr. Dick at all myself, but as an interest for survival, I think returning the money to him is our best chance at saving our own skins in this situation.
But how are we to gain any traction if we don't have anything to gain traction with?
Well, I would say this briefcase is quite a lot of traction.
Mr. Dick will not like that we aren't coming back with what he intended us to come back with. Even if it is his own money. He wanted us to come back with the briefcase, and we did not do what he wanted to do. He will not be happy.
If I totally understand that, but if we don't go back to Mr. Dick right now, we're making a very powerful enemy, and if that is what we want to do, I am with you. But I'm not sure if making an enemy that powerful is a good idea.
All I suggest is that we just don't go to Mr. Dick yet. And we find another way to gain traction with what we need to get done. And when we come around to Mr. Dick, we don't have to tell him the full truth. And we let him know what we've gotten done. But we do need to have something done by the time we see Mr. Dick, or he will not be happy at all.
As you finish saying that, you hear, "The explosions came from this way." And you hear the sound of ropes coming down buildings as more of these structural integrity unionists start to descend on the factory that you all are walking away from. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.